I'm very excited to talk all things South East Queensland with one of the best agents, or the number one agent in Yarrabilba, Saša Peči. Saša, welcome.
Thank you for having me.
Good. We've been planning this for a little while, so glad we've caught up.
Yeah, it's hard to get you. You're always running deals, trying to chase stuff.
I'm easy, mate.
Always
actually, that might have come across well. I'm easy going. Let's just leave it at that. But let's talk about Queensland.
Yep.
What's going on in the Australian property market right now? Brisbane, as of October, according to Cotality, went up 1.8%. Brisbane did, 1.8%, right? Which is what,
It's
0.4?
0.4 for the week or something, yeah.
Yeah, $3,600 each week going up.
Absolutely crazy.
I think it's more on the ground. Like, it feels like more than $3,600. When you see each week the prices, it feels like more than $3,600.
It does feel, it's crazy. Yeah. Well, no one, I wouldn't have predicted it.
Well,
but
thank you for that beautiful segue here, because everyone, I do want to say, there's a lot of people that have been talking about Queensland reaching its peak, and it's had 5 years of growth and so on and so on, and that it's done and you need to look at other markets. But there's a reason why Queensland is the second best performing capital city behind Perth for the month of October. It's because there is no supply here. Rental vacancy rate super low. There's no rentals. There's no supply coming to the market. And Brisbane performing at 1.8% for the month. I predicted this 5-6 months ago. I said Queensland's next boom cycle is here. Other people said no. And I stood there alone saying next boom cycle is here, watch. And here we are. And I just want to, my editor, if you can throw the link in the bio so you can all see it. I talked about this.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, you did. I saw it when you were talking about it.
You watching my content? You better.
Yeah, I am.
Thank you.
But we had a dull moment, June, July, August.
It was a little bit slower.
We didn't know where the market was going to go. It felt like all the buyer inquiries started dropping off. Buyers coming at the open home, they felt like they had time. They were like going to start browsing. They weren't committing. And then the announcement came for the first home buyer scheme to move it forward. And before it even kicked in, 1st of October, that's when you saw within a week it just changed.
Even just before?
Yeah, just before it started an uptick. And then you start panicking as a buyer's agent, because that's when it makes it tough for you, but us as
because I know where it's going. I knew where it was going anyway, and then just seeing it, I'm just like, wow.
You're crazy. Trying to get in for your clients before it explodes. But yeah, it's crazy. I don't know. A lot of people talking about this 18-year cycle. It's finished. We're at the top end, which they're saying is coming in 26. But with the shortage of stock and the amount of people coming to Australia, particularly in Queensland, interstate migration, and a lot of the investors are moving the money out of Melbourne coming in here because of the land tax threshold. I can't see it happening. I don't know. It's so hard to predict, but
I think everyone needs to, and this is me talking about not just the 18.6 year cycle, but in general, everything that we look at historically when we analyse data over the last 100 years, we're not living the next 10 years based on the last 100. The next 10 years, we got the possible collapse of the petrodollar, Donald Trump doing all sorts of things, looking to go to a digital currency. We're seeing a time. I've never seen property prices go up like this. We're living in a time that's unlike the last 20 years or 30 years or 50 years, right? So to think that everything's going to be 18.6 or it's going to be a certain way, I don't think it is.
You're looking at data from the 40s, 50s and 60s. It's different economy. So there's nothing to compare it to.
Yeah. So I think we need to look at data more so as like, have a look at, historically what's happened, but also see what the future is looking like. Because normally you'd say, okay, Queensland's had its cycle and it's done. But what people aren't bothering, and this is the lazy BAs out there that aren't bothering to research the fact that there is no supply. There's a constant migration. When you have a look, the numbers don't stack up. I keep fielding phone calls, and this is where I'm probably different to a lot of BAs in other states. I take the phone calls from people in Melbourne still looking to get out of Melbourne.
Yeah.
They're still coming.
Yeah.
Do you get those calls?
Yeah, absolutely. We get a lot of Melbourne buyers moving up, but mainly a lot of them still buying in self-managed super fund, in trusts, and like there's a lot of money coming into real estate from super.
Yeah.
What people don't realise. Like there's people setting up self-managed super funds every day, and a lot of them are buying in investment properties and trying to. I think there's a bit of that a lot of hype in the news. People get scared when they see Trump doing this, Trump doing that. They're worried about their super. So they're like, well, I'm going to control this. I'm just going to set myself self-managed super fund. Yeah. So I think there's a bit of that as well.
Yeah, definitely. Okay, so we've got Brisbane at 1.8% for the month of October, according to Cotality. You were just throwing a stat at me of 11.6% over the last 12 months.
Correct. That's
for Brisbane.
What's
so
that?
100K
100K,
plus.
Yeah. 100K, yeah.
100K plus.
Yeah, it's
it's performing.
It's performing really, really well.
Well, let's tie that back into Yarrabilba once again. Yeah. Now, for those who don't know, Sacha's number one in Yarrabilba. You have been for some time.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah.
I like your casual. Yeah, I am. I pump it up.
3 years, maybe.
Yeah, good.
So now we do a lot in the area. It's our core area that we service. So it's been great. When I started, it would take 6 months to sell a property. On average, it was over 110, 120 days it was sitting at, and no one wanted it. You yourself, you were like, oversupplied, there's too much land, and it started changing. So I think the problem is the shortage of stock across Brisbane, but particularly Yarrabilba now as well, because they just can't release enough land. There's 18-month wait for registration for a block of land.
Yeah,
so it's crazy. So it takes 2 years to get into a house. So the established homes are, and it's actually outperformed Brisbane. We've had 12.8% growth last 12 months. That's pretty much up there.
So but affordability is what's driving that, right?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. So when you're looking at other suburbs in Logan, you can drive an extra 20 minutes further out, and you get a newer home for a better value, basically. Better price point. So a lot of people started looking at Yarrabilba. Now that infrastructure is starting to happen, I think there's still a lot more growth in the area.
Yeah, 100%. Because back in the day, I remember, what was it, a 322 or a 422 was 330K?
Yeah.
And you couldn't sell it?
330 to 350, yeah. There was one instance where we had clients that purchased off the plan 5 years prior and paid 450. And 3-4 years later, they would try and sell it, and we couldn't even clear the mortgage.
See that, but that's one of the reasons why that we stayed away from buying off the plan, is because everyone was always in negative equity. Now everyone's saved. It magically all goes up.
Yeah, but if you look long term, like if anyone that bought even at 450, if you're looking at real estate long term, you're still doing well. It's just that people's circumstance change. They buy off the plan, and then 3 years later they have to sell, and then you get caught out. But
and you just couldn't move them, no matter how much you couldn't move them, because everyone would rather still buy in the more established parts closer into Logan and that your Logan Lees and your your Slacks Creek and all that.
Even myself, I was like, no, I'm not buying here, because that was back then, and then I ended up buying in Yarrabilba. Eventually, you know.
So tell us right now, in terms of some of because the prices that are being achieved in Yarrabilba right now is absolutely crazy, and it's $1 million now.
Yeah, we've had just recently probably 2 or 3 properties that have just nudged over that $1 million mark.
Yeah,
which is just I just can't comprehend. Like,
who sold them?
Oh, we did. Yeah, to be fair, there's been a few other agents that have sort of hit that $1 million mark as well. So the market's doing its thing as well. Yeah. You know, but there's one particular property we had 28 Hidden Vale circuits, so 2 years on the dot. It's sort of your 4-bed, nicer, bigger coral home, owner-occupier with a swimming pool on a corner block. You know that we sold that for $807,000, I think it was. And the owner said to me, Sacha, I'm scared to sign this contract because I feel like I'm overpaying. So we always say the same thing. Well, you're holding long term. You know, within 2-3 years, it's going to be $1 million. Yeah. He said, you think it's going to be $1 million within 2 years? I said, I'm pretty certain of it. Yeah. So 2 years on the dot, literally on the month, I looked it up. He calls me and said, look, our circumstance changed. You said to me, you're going to get me $1 million. I want you to come out and have a look at it and then let me know if it's achievable. So we went, we launched it, and we got $1,035,000.
Oh, nice. Nice. Yeah.
So I was a bit, there was no data to say that it's going to sell for that, but the market's very strong.
It is right now. It is right now. Tell me, in regards to a lot of the areas around there, it seems to be, is it just owner-occupiers? Is it an investor? What's the split that you're seeing?
It's 50-50 at the moment.
Yeah.
And has been for quite a while. I don't think that's changed too much. There's a lot of investors looking at it now. We back in the day, we didn't really have any buyers agents looking at it. There's some buyers agents actively buying a lot in the area now. So there's still that high turnover. So every 3 years or so, someone sort of buys and sells it for whatever reason. But I think it's 50-50 still, yeah.
Yeah, nice. So that's showing that there is a good portion, a good percentage of investors still active in the market. These yields right now, and we've got to address this right now. It's, November 18th today, 2025. Each week, yields are going lower.
It's just going lower, yeah.
Because the prices are going up and rents have to catch up, but the yields keep decreasing.
Yeah, but I think you always find that as well if the market's moving very quickly and the lease agreement, especially with the new regulation, you can't increase the rent for 12 months now. So there's a bit of lag of that data as well. I think the demand for the rental is there to get the rent up, but it's like Yarrabilba sitting around the 4% now. So it's dropped off. We were well above 5% at one stage, so the yield was so good. But I think it'll tick up eventually if the market stabilizes. But at the moment, we're just not seeing any slowdown in it.
No. So give us an idea on what you're seeing at open houses. Like, let's say last weekend, for example, how many people, did you have a popular house? How many people through? How many offers?
So we're averaging about 15 to 20 buyers. That's quite low for what Logan normally gets, because Derek in Crestmead, he was talking about 80 buyers through.
No way.
Even Rebecca Cutterman, she's 60, 70, 80 buyers through some of the open homes like Marsden, Crestmead, more established suburbs. So we're doing about 15 to 20, but what we're finding is all the buyers are ready to buy. Everyone is buying. We're still getting multiple offers. We're getting the 3, 4, 5, sometimes even 10 offers on a property. Yeah. So our market is always been sort of lagged behind in terms of the demand when you look at the data in Yarrabilba, but because it's not established completely yet. I mean, you've got the schools there and stuff, but shopping centres still lacking, so they're working on that as we speak. So. Yeah.
When is the shopping centre coming for Yarrabilba?
Well, they're just clearing the land for it now, so...
Still 3 years.
Who knows? Yeah. But last time I spoke to when Lend Lease had the development, they told us they need, I think it was 37,000 people in the vicinity. How big that radius vicinity is to make it viable is we don't know. But I think they're working on something at the moment. They haven't announced it officially yet, but I think the land is getting prepared for it.
And how's the general infrastructure in Yarrabilba getting out of Yarrabilba into Brisbane? It's
still tough. There's still not, because it's a state government priority development. You would think that it would be a lot better, but it's not. There's still one way in and out of Yarrabilba. They're working on the second road, which will open early next year. So, but I don't know. It feels like it's lacking still a lot, and that's what people are sort of concerned about.
Yeah. Tell me, you're an investor as well, right? So you've got an investor mindset, and word on the street is you wanted to be a buyer's agent back in the day.
I did. I researched it, and that was initially, the what I wanted to do. But learning a little bit about the industry, doing a bit of research, I figured that it's going to be very hard to get in, and it wasn't that popular back then. When I was looking at it 6 years ago, you were a buyer's agent that no one knew that they existed from 20 years ago. Yeah. But even 6 years ago, it was started to come into the media, because I was on the podcasts a lot. That's how I came across that sort of buyer's management side of the role. But I spoke to quite a few people, and it was like everyone was like, "Nah, you need a lot of experience. There's no way to get in to start. Yeah. It's very hard. It was very hard." So. Yeah. So I just decided, let's go and try the sales side of it, and
I still love what you did.
It's worked out.
Jumping into sales, and killing it, and writing the numbers that you write. Yeah, it's absolutely crazy. So
I think having understanding a little bit on the finance side of it and the investment game helps. So a lot of real estate agents think that you just get a property and you're talking about the property itself. The property is just a tool that I see, in wealth creation. And it's not so much about the character or the structure of the home. It's more the location and, how you can leverage.
Yeah, exactly. So with that investor mindset, obviously that's helped you, on the sales side. But it's because of that investor mindset that I want to ask you, as an investor, being a local here, in Queensland, in Brisbane, where do you see value as an investor? Where would you put your money?
I would definitely look at lifestyle locations. I think that's going to be the biggest transfer of wealth in the next sort of 10 years. A lot of retirees are going to be, a lot of people that are, going to be retiring soon are going to be looking at, waterfront properties, acreage properties as well, if they want a bit of that, privacy. But I think Gold Coast, Sunshine Coast, Palm Beach, down Burleigh Heads, Noosa, Maroochydore has got a lot of infrastructure going on. I think those locations will outperform a lot of your basic average suburbs that.
Well, it's interesting you say Sunny Coast because I absolutely love the Sunny Coast, and I just bought another one on the Sunny Coast now. I think it's the best kept secret in Australia, and I don't think a lot of people realise there's plenty of people from Melbourne and Sydney still moving up. Plenty of people from Brizzy that might sell a house in Logan for $950 or 1.1, and that can now move to the Sunny Coast, and it's just an amazing place there. And I don't think it's as commercialised as the Gold Coast. It's still a nice.
No. I think the
Gold Coast isn't nice.
Yeah, the Gold Coast is nice, but I think the demand on the Gold Coast has always been people get emotional attachment to when they go on holidays, like, oh, we'll just buy an apartment on the Gold Coast. And so, but with Sunshine Coast, the infrastructure and the price point, it's still there's so much growth there.
It is, mate. It's going to keep going, and it's been performing in double digits for quite some time now. I think we're going to continue to see that. I'm absolutely loving it. Give us 3 no-goes. Give us the no-goes. Like as an investor, where would you not be going in South East Queensland or anywhere for that matter?
Regional towns. I think a lot of people are hyping up regional towns, and I think it's a hype that some buyers agents are pushing because of the price point to get more transactions, to be honest. Once the buyers agents stop creating those hotspots and they move on to the next location, I think some people will get caught out eventually when the market does stabilise, because regional, there's a lot of in the background that you need to know about, like how the economy is performing, where the employment is going to be, and what's going to move the market. It's not just at the moment where people are just buying. There's some suburbs are in some pockets could be like a big hype up at the moment and people are just panic buying in there and buying for 500,000 thinking it's going to go to $1 million. That's something that I would be very cautious about. And you've seen it back in the day with the mining towns where people got stuck when couldn't sell.
Yeah. Those mining towns, some of them are still like that. They're still down from that era.
Yeah. Yeah. Melbourne has got that crazy land tax threshold that unless they remove that, it's still going to struggle, I think. But it's so affordable now, but no one's really going near it at the moment.
Let's talk about more. Melbourne is still underperforming.
Yeah.
It's still the slower cousin out of all the cities, right? It's just it's struggling to get started. It's like a car trying to tick over in winter. It's not starting, and it's growing. Certain parts of Melbourne are and that's great. We've been buying there, but just in general as a whole, it doesn't perform like South East Queensland. I honestly, truly believe Brisbane and South East Queensland is the new number 2 in Australian real estate compared to Sydney.
Yeah, I agree. I think especially the unit market in Melbourne, it's oversaturated with stock. There's so much supply coming in. So from what I can see, I think Brisbane is definitely I think it will stay number 2 behind Sydney.
And it's where people want to live. Perth outperformed Brisbane for the month of October, according to Cotality, at 1.9%. Just tip Brisbane.
Yeah.
Right. Perth, absolutely beautiful. Perth is like Brisbane, but with Gold Coast beaches.
Yeah.
It's beautiful.
Yeah, it is nice. It is nice. But you've heard like 12 months ago, people calling up Perth's hit a max, it's hit a top, and it just keeps going.
Keeps going. But it's supply demand.
Yeah,
You've got to have a look at what's going on and that lack of supply. Like you're talking about Yarrabilba, even 18 months to 2 years.
Yeah.
To get a block, right?
Get a block, yeah.
And we're seeing that under supply in Perth. We're seeing it in Brisbane. And if no one can get stock, but yet everyone keeps migrating to these places because everyone wants to live there. Everyone's like the Queensland economy is in a lot better shape than Victoria's, right?
Yeah.
So when you look at all people wanting to live in Brisbane, people wanting to live in the Sunny Coast, the Gold Coast, those markets are absolutely on fire.
Yeah, you can't go wrong.
And I don't see a slowdown. I honestly see it continuing all through next year.
I think if something changes on the first home buyer scheme.
Yeah, let's open this can of worms. Yeah. Now we've spoken about this. Yeah. Tell everyone.
I think they just didn't realize what what chaos it's created in the market and how much it's overheated the market. And I think the inflation figures are going to show in the next couple of months that it's just overheated the market, and they might come out and maybe do something to maybe restrict it a little bit. Maybe APRA might do something, I think. Who knows? But there will be something happening because they can see it's already hitting mainstream media. I think something will happen that first home buyer, because that sub-million mark, it's almost non-existent anymore in Logan. In a space of 2-3 months.
100%. So if something does change, government policy changes, that's definitely got an impact on property prices. But the fact is there's still no supply and so on.
Supply, yeah.
What I love about what you said was it's hitting the media. So it's now November 18th. It's hitting the media. We spoke about this on a podcast with Beck, 2 months ago?
Yeah.
Cool. And then 4 months, 5 months prior to that, I predicted the whole lot. So this is where you can't follow the media hype.
No,
you can't listen to the media. I just want to point out on my own podcast once again that I'm right. That's all I'm doing. That's all I'm doing. But the point is, once it hits the media, it's way too late. So a lot of people now have missed it. Like if I was to buy something in Yarrabilba, an example for everyone at home, if I was to buy a 422 in Yarrabilba in the month of June versus after this first home buyer's grant and everything that's gone on, and it's now November, what's the price difference?
Entry level, you'd be looking about $80,000.
$80,000.
Yeah.
See?
Easy. Yeah.
That's the difference.
But yeah, and I think you got obviously the advantage of speaking to myself and Rebecca 100%. And finding out what's 100%. Happening, how many buyers.
We've got all the big names on our podcast, all the big names.
How many buyers are you getting to the open home? That starts to change.
I do.
But
that's what it's about.
Oh yeah, of course.
Let me say another thing I did recently as well is I overlay data. I'll check data and then I'll check data somewhere else and then I'll call. Like I actually did vacancy rates by actually calling someone I know in Albury-Wodonga. Shout out to Lucinda if she's watching. She's the best property manager in Wodonga, Albury-Wodonga. I called her and we went through all of the rentals to find out the exact vacancy rate as per how I see it.
So what she's got on
what's on realestate.com, who's listed it, how long it's been there, what's a genuine listing. Like I went and did the vacancy rates, and this is the level that I go to sometimes to ensure that we're correct in our data. Like we'll overlay it, and even to the point where we're calling the local agent and sussing out exactly how many there are, and we come up with our own statistic based on that exact moment in time.
Yeah, because there can be a lot of lag of data.
Yes,
and a lot of people are buying all kinds of. You can subscribe to all kinds of websites and stuff, but what you see, like it can change in a space of 4, 5, 6 weeks, and that doesn't translate in what's already been released. So it's a good way to do it. Yeah,
100%. Sometimes you just got to do it yourself, and then on top of that, the way in which we used to look at data was I would talk to agents and ask them, what's their phone inquiry like? You know, like this is back in the day. So you'd still find out, okay, well, our phone calls went from 300 this month to 700.
Yeah.
All right, we're clearly at the start of a boom cycle. You know, like there's always ways to find out on the ground.
Yeah, we do that as well. We look at buyer inquiries, how much up and down it goes, and that sort of gives us an indication of what I think is going to be next 2-3 months.
Yeah.
Yeah, you have to do that, especially if you're on the ground and actively trying to find these hot deals.
Always looking for deals.
They're always good for deals.
Always looking for deals.
You are one of the hardest buyers agents to deal with, to be honest.
No. I'm very easy to deal with. I just know that I
know you got to look after the client, but sometimes you're like just trying to haggle, man.
I'm not that bad. So for any agents that want to work with me, just know I'm not that bad. I'm actually
we've done a few deals together, and to be fair, it wasn't too bad. Yeah,
not too bad.
Yeah.
When are we gonna have a drink together?
You don't drink anymore, I heard.
I know. Over this Christmas period now, this is one that I really want to touch on for everyone at home. There's a lot of people sitting on the sidelines waiting to find the right deal or whatever the reason may be. I personally would be looking to get in as soon as possible. And even if you can, buy something over Christmas, if at worst case, right? Try and get a good deal. But I wouldn't want to be here in February looking for the same deal that I could buy in November because there's going to be a big difference in prices. Can you give us your opinion?
Yeah, absolutely. I'm talking now as an investor, if I was thinking about investing and getting in the market, I would do it now. And you can always recommend longer settlement for owners that don't want to sell now.
Yeah.
Because a lot of owners don't want to get that disruption having to move over Christmas, having to find something if they had to move out or whatnot. But you can secure a property in today's market and potentially settle in February and you've got an upside of, who knows, maybe $30,000, $40,000, $50,000.
Yeah. Like
if I was buying right now, I would definitely be not waiting.
So come in with good terms, secure the property now, before Christmas, the seller, the occupier, won't want to move during Christmas, right?
Correct.
They're going to have their summer holiday. Give them the longer settlement of 90 days?
Yeah. Just be flexible on the settlement, or be offered that leaseback guarantee in a contract. I've done that with some of the investors that the owners were concerned about. Wanted to sell in a crazy market on the seller side of it, but at the same time, I'm concerned about where are we going to go?
Yeah.
So that I would say would help a lot.
That lease back we do as well, so that they can just lease it back for 3 months or whatever, but the money hits their account, so they still sell the property.
That's right.
They get the money. They can then go get another loan, buy or upgrade or buy whatever they want to buy, and it gives them some time. So it's a win-win.
Yeah, absolutely.
Done. So to finish up, I want you to tell me if you had a budget right now, 700 to 900K, where would you be going?
700 to 900K.
South East Queensland.
As close as
possible. There's not a lot of money. There's not a lot of money.
I would actually go for a small boutique townhouse complex.
Yeah.
In a blue chip suburb that's close to that lifestyle that's going to move. So if you could buy
Register?
No, I would go, if possible, somewhere that doesn't, like Holland Park, maybe.
Oh, you're fancier. This is fancy, mate. We're hitting blue chip now.
Yeah, you're not going to get that yield.
Yeah.
It depends on the circumstance, what people want. If you want a balanced asset, you can't buy there. But I think those areas are going to outperform capital growth-wise. But if you're looking at a balanced asset and you've got 700 to 900 to spend, maybe like North Lakes or something like that would potentially be a good location. But you're the man that does all the research.
No,
I sell the Yarrabilba. Where do you buy? That's what people like. Everyone wants to know.
I'll tell you. I'll give you a couple. Brisbane townhouses I've been buying for some time because I know that house prices have been going up very, very fast and there's been a huge gap between, and townhouses have been picking up a lot over the last 3-4 years. So we've just picked up townhouses over the last, year and a half for in the 500s. They're now at mid-sevens.
Mid-sevens, yeah.
What the hell's going on there?
Yeah.
That's a cheap, quick, easy Brisbane buy. For those clients who really want Brisbane but can't afford a house, those you can buy in a decent area. You buy a Philip Usher build. It might be 10 or 15 years old. You get in. As long as you obviously do your checks on Body Corp and all that sort of stuff. But that's a good value for money play. Eagleby, if you can pick up Eagleby 700 to 750, you might struggle. But if you can sneak one in right now, that is value for money Brisbane. Not great data-wise in terms of, the amount of percentage of public housing and renters and all that sort of stuff, right? But the colour of money is still the same and profit is happening. Yeah. It's going up in those areas.
Well, even Eagleby is going through a massive upgrade. The shopping centre is getting a big uplift. Beenleigh, there's the train station is getting moved. There's a lot of stuff happening in Beenleigh as well. So that's changing over time. You would have seen, like back in the day, Sydney, there was certain suburbs that no one wanted to touch and they're sitting at $1.3, $1.4 million now. So 100%. I don't think the demographic and stuff, people should look into it. That's emotional attachment. When you buy an investment, you just got to look at that infrastructure and the proximity to public transport and stuff.
That's spot on. And you know what Eagleby reminds me of? And this is what people in Sydney will relate to. Eagleby reminds me of Minto Mall Shopping Centre back 10, 15, 20 years ago when it was all dead. It was all housing commission and it's made that transition. It's revived now and it's changed and Minto is expensive. Yeah. Eagleby reminds me of that.
Yeah, in the right pockets. Obviously, there is some flood overlay in certain pockets in Eagleby that people have to be careful of. But yeah, absolutely. The demand in Eagleby at the moment is just, it's
You were saying you had an open house there recently.
Yeah, we sold one probably a couple of months ago, just as the announcement happened that they're going to move there. And then everyone started panic buying before October 1. So that was probably August. We had one open home. It was a small little 311.
What was the address?
I can't remember.
I was thinking we could overlay it so people could see it.
I can look it up.
Yeah.
But there was
nothing fancy. It was just
it was very basic. There's no uplift on it. It was just original condition, 90 build. Yeah, with 40 odd offers on the first open home with 65 buyers, and the buyer's agent actually paid the premium.
Yeah,
buyer's agent actually bought it.
Yeah,
that I've never dealt with before. He outbid everyone, and they've put a long-term tenant in there, and they know, they can see the data that.
Yeah.
Now 2 months later, we're looking at it now 820, 830. So
it's up
70, 80
So
grand
would you have
uplift.
60 people through?
Yeah, around, I think it was 64, 65 groups through and 47 offers on that one. And that was just the start of it. And I wasn't expecting that. That sort of was just the start of the announcement, and you could see the buyers' sentiment changing.
Yeah, and this is what the first home buyers scheme is doing. It's really set that sub-$1 million category on fire, hasn't it?
Yeah. I think by February there won't be anything
under $1 million.
Yeah, there's some talk in the office. There's Crestmead 311 in the office sold for 906 in Crestmead.
Really, 311 Crestmead 900.
Boronia Heights 311 at 975. So there's some and Boronia Heights, for anyone that knows, Logan is not. It's sort of tucked away. It's not your.
It's not close to anything. It's kind of like at the back, isn't it? Yeah.
So, I don't think you'll see much under, unless you come to Yarrabilba. We can still.
You can still get deals in Yarrabilba? Okay, that's a good tip.
The entry level, you're still sitting at 850 at the moment, but it's not going to last long by the looks of it.
That's going to go. That'll go up another 100. If they don't cut the first homeowners grant, that'll be 950 quick.
Yeah. You're seeing it now. Your standard 422 on a 400 block is sitting at 850 plus now. I can remember selling at 700 not long ago.
Yeah.
And people are still scrambling for it. Even at 850, they're paying premium.
That's crazy. It's a crazy time in real estate.
It is,
but I wouldn't change it for the world. I enjoy real estate, and
it's good. I can't picture doing anything
dealing
else.
with some agents sometimes. They're a bit average, but no, it's good, and you make a lot of good friends.
Absolutely.
A couple enemies, a lot of good friends. I'm kidding. But Saša, thank you so much for joining us.
No, pleasure, man.
For the chat, it was good.
Good to catch up. Hope you kick some goals next year. Have a big year.
Already starting, mate.
Yeah,
already starting. Doing well, mate. Likewise, I appreciate you coming on.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. Saša Peči from APG, #1 in Yarrabilba. And I don't know what else. He's a good guy. Thank you so much for joining us on this episode of Property Banter. Please like, share, subscribe. We appreciate you guys watching. We enjoy providing this content, making this content for you all. And until next time, take care.